In Washington state, firearm sales are way down and concealed carry permits are way up. Of course, we know that the Washington legislature is just getting started on their anti gun agenda. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the anti gun legislation that has come out of Olympia over the last couple of sessions and what we can expect next. Because make no mistake, the bills that have passed is just the beginning. Washington state Democrats are just getting warmed up. What's coming could change how and if you can protect yourself and your family. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, I'm Julie Barrett, founder of Conservative Ladies of America, which started in Washington as Conservative Ladies of Washington. And we have been very engaged in the Washington state legislature over the last 4 sessions, aggressively opposing the anti-gun legislation that has come out of Olympia. And today we're going to take a look at what has happened over the last couple years related to firearm sales in the state of Washington, and also the huge surge in the number of concealed carry permits that have been issued. If you're already thinking they couldn't possibly erode our Second Amendment rights here in Washington state anymore, spoiler alert, they have got a lot more on the agenda. There are a few bills that were proposed in 2025 session that will automatically be reintroduced in 2026. And we're going to dig into those a little bit today so you know what's coming and how you can fight back. Let's rewind a little bit back to 2023 with the passage of House Bill 1240, also known as the assault weapons ban. This prohibited the sale, manufacture, and import of a wide range of semi-automatic firearms. In the months leading up to the ban, as Washington state citizens and Second Amendment advocates and enthusiasts were seeing the writing on the wall, gun sales spiked at 416,000 firearms between January and July of 2023. But just 1 year later, it was just 245,000. And in 2025, Washington state firearm sales is barely hitting 243,000. That's a 45.7% drop in firearm sales, and it is by far the largest decline in America. For reference, the state of Connecticut is second in line for the largest decline at 13%. Washington, 46%. Now, this isn't just a change in consumer behavior. It's very obviously the result of intentional restrictions on Washington's Second Amendment rights. And while firearm purchases have steeply declined, concealed pistol licenses are surging. Back in December of 2020, Washington had 287,000 active concealed pistol license holders. By the end of 2022, that number climbed to 696,438. And despite a small dip in 2023, Washington rebounded to over 700,000 by the end of 2024. And as of June 2025, Washington state has reached a record number at 709,000 concealed pistol license holders. Well, why the surge? Well, if you've been paying attention to gun legislation in Washington state, you're probably very well aware of the passage of House Bill 1163, also known as the Permit to Purchase Law. This law, which was signed by Governor Ferguson in April of 2025, mandates that all firearm purchases must have a permit before they can purchase, and this will take effect on May 1st of 2027. The permit includes live fire training, fingerprinting, and enhanced background checks, as well as a mandatory 10-day waiting period. And here's the part that people need to know: a CPL does not count as your permit to purchase a firearm. These are two separate processes, so people who are getting CPLs now thinking that this will exempt them from the permit needed in May of 2027 are incorrect. You will still need to do both. Now, I want to make sure people in Washington are aware of what's coming next. There were several really horrible anti-gun pieces of legislation that were proposed in the 2025 legislative session. Washington state operates on a biennium, so anything that was proposed in 2025 that did not pass is automatically reintroduced in 2026. A couple of the worst bills that we had our eye on were House Bill 1504 and House Bill 1386. House Bill 1504 would require firearm owners to have liability insurance on each of their firearms. They would have to show liability insurance with $25,000 minimum coverage per incident, or they could file a $25,000 certificate of deposit with the Department of Licensing. Gun owners with 25 or more firearms could be classified as self-insurers, but they would need to have that cleared through the government. This particular policy is going to make it very financially difficult for people to lawfully own firearms in Washington state. And these types of policies really target the marginalized communities that Washington Democrats claim to be so protective of. Now, the other bill is House Bill 1386, and this would impose a new tax on firearms, ammunition, and even firearm parts, as if Washington citizens didn't already have enough taxes. All of these laws that create a financial imposition are really designed to discourage people from owning firearms because of the costs involved in all of this red tape. And what every common sense citizen knows is that these so-called gun control bills do not actually address the problem of crime committed with firearms. Criminals obviously do not follow the laws, and so these bills don't apply to them. They only seek to harm law-abiding citizens and infringe upon their constitutional rights. From Washington's House Bill 1240, the ban on assault weapons, and 2025's 1163, the permit to purchase requirement, and heading forward into 2026 with the potential of passing House Bill 1504 and 1386, it is very clear that Washington state Democrats aren't done, and they probably have more legislation up their sleeves that we haven't even seen yet. But if you are in Washington and you care about your constitutional rights, it is critical that you engage in the legislative process, that you speak up. In Washington state, it's really easy. You can testify online, you can do a Zoom testimony and speak out. And it's really important that regular average citizens, not just the FFLs and the firearm lobbyists, speak out. You need to speak out as well. I would encourage you to join our Conservative Roundtable. It's a group of citizens that meets every Thursday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. And it's a great way to collaborate and connect and figure out what the issues are and how we can all tackle them together. I will have a link for you to register for that meeting in the description of this video. We would love to see you. You can come and be a fly on the wall, or you can engage in the discussion. If you have a certain policy issue that you are working on at a local or state level, or even a national level, we encourage you to bring that as well and network with other citizens. Please be sure to share this video with other Washington citizens to let them know what's going on. And even if you're not in Washington, this provides a great example of why it's so important for citizens to be engaged, because even if you're in a red state that is pro-Constitution, we need to hold the line and we need to continue to advance policies that further solidify our constitutional right to keep and bear arms. Please do give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you're not already, please be sure to subscribe. If you would like to support our work, I'm going to leave a donation link in the description of this video, or you can also become a paid subscriber to our Substack. Both are great ways to support the work that we are doing at Conservative Ladies of America. Everything I've discussed today is linked in the description of the video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.